We are the continuum of energy itself that is compressing itself into physical form. And once we're in physical form, we're not disconnected from the continuum. We're constantly flowing this energy from the universe into this system, and it comes from above our head, from this continuum. Picture a giant funnel that becomes a channel that channels itself all the way to the physical world, to the earth. It hits the earth and turns and rises up again. And it rises up through what will become our body, but it rises up and it cycles around and around in this measurable toric field. It's called a torus, and it's shaped like a big donut that's just rolling over itself over and over. In fact, I have a little image here that I use sometimes when I'm teaching. It's like, maybe I can show this. So this energy pours down, hits the earth, turns, rises up, and cycles around and around and around. And that's how it builds a body inside of it. It keeps compressing and compressing and compressing itself like a centrifuge into physical matter. That's how physical matter in the human form materializes. And so that's how we're supposed to be functioning. Here's how most people are functioning. This energy descends, hits the earth, turns, and rises up. And we have all sorts of inherited ideas. We are in environments that don't believe in this or don't believe in that, or we've been shut down in certain ways, or we've had injuries, or we've had attitudes, all sorts of things. So we don't believe in ourselves, or we question ourselves in relationships, or we don't have our personal power intact, or we don't have a voice in the world. And so we're kind of sidestepping these areas of us that are less developed in terms of our conscious awareness. And so what happens is this rising energy takes on a wobble, and that wobble creates a distortion in the energy field that's constantly cycling. And so now this person is standing here looking out through a distorted energy field, and they see a distorted reality. They see one that doesn't care and that isn't safe and that is never going to be in their favor, and they're never going to be able to achieve what they want. Their goals are never reachable. They're in a place of lack and distortion. When in reality, the world that we're living in is filled with abundance.
What if the key to unlocking your full human potential has been with you all along, hidden in the energy that surrounds you and flows within you? Imagine tapping into the power to elevate your consciousness, expand your awareness, and truly master your life. In today's episode of Energy Medicine, we're honored to welcome Dr. Sue Morter, a master of Bioenergetic Theory and a visionary in the quantum field. Dr. Sue is here to share how high-frequency energy patterns can activate your inner power and transform your life. In this episode, Energizing Health will help you better understand the energy that surrounds you and reveal how distortions in your field can compromise not just your health, but the way you see the world. I'm Dr. Mary, a medical intuitive, chiropractor, and energy medicine practitioner. If you're curious about energy medicine but unsure if it's right for you, then I'd love to invite you to a complimentary discovery call. This is an opportunity for us to connect, to explore your challenges, and to see if my approach aligns with your needs. Together, we'll look at what's been holding you back and how energy medicine tools can help restore your balance, release emotional blocks, and reconnect you with your authentic self. Stay tuned until the end of the show, where you'll see a QR code to schedule your complimentary discovery call. Let's begin your journey back to alignment together.
What I like to teach is that it's a circuitry issue. Like, we don't have the circuitry in place, the energetic pathways to carve right through this until we do. And we can learn how to establish those pathways so that this becomes this again, and we can truly remove these distortions in the energy field and this wobbling sense of self that we've all been running from most of our lives. So that's kind of the work that I do, is teach people how to build the circuitry to stabilize this energy flow, because when that energy is flowing in a harmonized way, your nervous system receives a different message. The brain receives a different message that says all is well, instead of a constant agitation and irritation and confusion, and it's constantly trying to interpret, where's the bear, where's the danger, something's not right, I need to move, or I need to leave this relationship, or I need to get another degree, or something's just not settled. But it's all that the energies just aren't flowing in a harmonized fashion in our bodies, and our hormonal system gets off, our nervous system gets off, our body chemistries are out of balance, because we're constantly in this state of fight or flight as a byproduct of that. So I'll stop there and see where you want to go.
Well, I just love the fact that you're talking above and beyond the central nervous system, regulation versus dysregulation. There's so much more. And listeners, before I forget, the diagrams that Dr. Sue was utilizing and using as she was explaining the toric field and the compression of energy, all those diagrams can be found in her book, The Energy Codes. And it's a beautiful book. If you've not read it, I highly recommend that you do. And essentially what she teaches us in this book is the central channel breathing. So she's talking about that vertical alignment as to how the life force energy comes down from above, and then it comes up off the earth to create that toric field. She's talking and teaching us, and what I find so beautiful is that she's modernizing some of the theories that the traditional yogic philosophers have talked about, and that's that Sushumna line that runs vertically within us, in which all of our various different energy centers connect to and allow us to assimilate and to express that information, right, to our highest potential. So we start talking about, and Dr. Sue does a fabulous job talking about this in her book, and she talks about how to use thought and intention to direct this energy, to straighten that Sushumna channel, or that central channel, with breath. Right? She talks about bandhas and applying root locks and in directing that energy. And it's all about truly to empower you as the individual to discover the hidden potential within yourself in order to align with your true, authentic, essential self.
Beautifully stated. Thank you, Dr. Mary. That's awesome. I love it when I get to talk to people who get it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know the listeners are getting it too. And I know that right now, before we move on to our essential question of the day, I just want to reiterate that Dr. Sue shows up in the true capacity of mind, body, and spirit as she holds space for others. She has various different schools: a school of energy medicine, a school that revolves around yoga, a school that revolves around even a higher consciousness and personal development. So she truly is taking a holistic, integrative approach to your, not only your well-being, but to your essence.
We have to. You know this. We have to approach life holistically. We have been raised in a culture that has become obsessed with pieces and parts, and let me take this for this, and let me get rid of this if it's not working right. And we live in a throwaway culture in terms of our external life, and it's really becoming that in terms of our internal resources as well. And if we're not careful, we will end up like previous civilizations on the planet have ended up, where we get smarter than we are wise. We get more intelligent than we are deeply, wisely integrated, and we have to keep it together. And the only way we can do that is to begin to learn about all of the pieces and parts of us. There's a reason that people have gut feelings. There's a reason that we have these intuitions and these hunches. And there's a reason that when you meet someone and you automatically like them, there's a reason for that. And when you meet someone and you're like, nah, I don't know, there's a reason for that. And this is a sixth sense, and everyone has it. It's just a matter of integrating and embodying ourselves enough and grounding ourselves enough that we can trust the constancy and the consistency of this truth revealing itself, because it's always on the rise. There are 11 billion bits of information that are bombarding us every millisecond from the universal mind, from the cosmos. And that's supposed to be translated into information for us. but we're not in our bodies, so we're living in our heads instead of in our bodies. And so our bodies don't get the opportunity to filter and modify that information until it becomes those hunches and those gut feelings and that wisdom that's constantly rising. It's supposed to land on these cells in our core that have little antennas on the surface of them. All of our cells have these antennas that are picking up on the energy of our environment. That energy is what's coming from this cosmic intelligence that I'm speaking about in the form of 11 billion bits of information every millisecond. That's a lot. It's constant. And so it's supposed to land in our gut, be translated from those little antennas to the inside of our cells, be turned into chemistries, telling the cell what to do, creating neurotransmitters, creating nerve impulses, creating energetic sequences of flow that come rising up through the body and filter through the brain in our heart. So there's a brain in our gut that's trying to speak to the brain in our heart. Literally, heart muscles have been depicted to present the same as tissues in the brain, cells in the heart that are creating neurotransmission, cells in the heart that are interpreting information. It's an amazing new discovery that's happening in our world, and it's just waking us up to the fact that the whole being is this interpretive device that's here trying to translate universal intelligence, which what that means to us is it's everything you would ever need to know. It's right here. It's right here for you. It's right here. And that then is supposed to rise through the heart and be filtered through what has heart and meaning to us, and then be filtered up into the brain in our heads, turning itself into images and thoughts and ideas and ahas and revelations. And if we're not connected in, if we're not plugged into this body that's a filtering mechanism, we miss all that. And then we just have to default to learning to run on our educated information instead of letting nature provide for us everything we'll ever need to know. Everything in terms of translating what is right for me. How do I know what decision to make? Can I feel good about what's going on? Is this an alignment for me, or am I making a mistake? All that kind of stuff that dupes people all the time and puts them into fight or flight never has to happen. And if people were plugged into their bodies the way they're supposed to be and living in the driver's seat down inside here instead of up here in our heads, we literally have a confidence that is priceless. It's priceless. It's priceless. And I didn't used to live the way I'm describing, and I do now. In the last 20 years, I've devoted my life to learning all of the nuances to staying plugged in. And it doesn't mean I don't have moments where I'm blown away by something, but it doesn't last very long because I've grown to know the difference in my positioning. If I'm living in my head, I start questioning, I start ruminating, I start thinking, I start analyzing. And if I'm down in my body, I'm like, hey, we're good, bring it. Let's see, let's go, let's try, let's do. And there's just a sense of well-being and belongingness that I never had as a kid. I slept on the floor in my closet. I was so terrified because what was inside of me didn't match when I went to school and was around people and all that. It wasn't a vibrational match. So I had to, figure out the hard way. I worked myself into, migraine headaches and intimidation and a very painful life. And then I was drawn to meditation, and boom, these things started waking up, and I started recognizing, oh, I know what we have to do. Well, number one, we have to learn to love ourselves, but that comes naturally when we sit down inside of ourselves instead of living in our heads alone. As our mind alone is not enough. We're more than just our mind. We are eternal wisdom before we even had a mind to educate. We are a greater love than the mind alone could ever access and know. And we are the combination of those energies truly when we allow the power of the universe to be this continuum pouring through us, and then we project it out into the world. I have two more little images and then I'll be quiet and see where you want to go. Okay, right here is this universal field. Same picture here, just from another perspective. Funneling and channeling and hitting the earth and rising up again and cycling around in this toric field flow. And for those of you that are watching, here's another version of it. Here's that funnel the unified field funneling and channeling and hitting the earth and rising up and cycling around. And then we roll it out in front of us. So we're projecting this movie on, if my hand is a movie screen, we're projecting our lives onto a movie screen, and we walk into that movie all the time. That's what we're doing. That's how we're living. So if we're not allowing this to be open and integrated and flowing, it starts to disrupt the movie. It starts to create a sputtering movie where sometimes people like me and sometimes they don't. Sometimes I have good luck and sometimes I have bad luck, and all that kind of stuff that we think we're living in. We're living in an entirely different reality than people think. And so, and that might be a lot to try to take in, but don't worry. There's a transmission that happens when we're talking about these truths on such a high level that it starts to impact you energetically, just to know that there's something bigger than I thought. Even if I don't know exactly what she said, there's something there, and I can tap into that. And I can allow myself, this is what I want you to be saying to yourselves, I can tap into it and I can allow that to be flowing through me. I'm not alone. This continuum of energy is pouring through me and rolling out into my movie, the movie of my life. So let me get better at cleaning house in here so that the movie can pour through without distortion, without disruption, without interference on the line. And amazingly, we heal as a byproduct of letting that happen. We heal when we stop holding on and digging our heels in and resisting and, fretting over things. We heal when we let ourselves operate the way we were designed to operate. So, okay. So let's see where you want to go.
Absolutely. Dr. Sue, I just want to take a moment and share with the listeners. I have to tell you that I am buzzing out of my skin. I can hardly contain myself, right? Yes. So she is speaking the resonance of the truth. And for those, all of us listening, all of us, myself included, what Dr. Sue is recommending is that we deeply root into the earth for its wisdom, allowing and trusting the messages in the energy that runs through us, that intuition that we know to be true. And truthfully, if you're feeling it somatically within the visceral tissues of your physical body, know that this information has moved through the outer layers of the toric field and is now residing within the highest density form of the energy within the physical body. If it is sitting there talking to you, it behooves you not to step aside to listen to the messages and to honor and to trust. Just in that universal energy that Dr. Sue has been talking about, so many of us live within our defenses, and that's what gets projected into our reality. So what we're alluding to, both Dr. Sue and I have a solid belief and knowing that these subtle energy systems, the bioenergetic landscape, can cultivate and permeate not only the mind, body, and spirit, but literally those are the keys for transforming our approach from an integrative perspective and a holistic well-being. And so, Dr. Sue, please share with us. I know that you started to talk about some of the current research out there, but what specific research is lighting your fire today?
Well, I just really am loving that science has actually proven that we can turn on and turn off our own DNA, meaning we can determine if we're going to have symptoms of a disease that we used to think was just inherited and that's what you're getting and there's nothing you can do about it. I love that science is showing us that when we create a vacuum, which is just a glass tube with nothing in it, they suck everything out, and just a few randomly placed photons, which are these tiniest little particles of energy. And when we think a thought into that tube as an experiment, the photons rearrange. And if we think a different kind of thought, the photons rearrange again. And if we think a different kind of thought, they rearrange again, which means that we think thoughts, and a photon is a packet of energy that's kind of in the doorway between energy and matter. Like, is it physical matter or is it a wave of energy? And with a photon, the answer is yes. It can behave as one or the other. Okay, so we can affect that. So what it means is that we have an effect on our movie. We have an effect on our outer world. And so we can create the life that we choose to be living. We just have to learn how to use our equipment differently than we were designed to use it. We basically use our equipment, our mind and our body and our breath and our perceptive field from the outside in. And as you were mentioning, Dr. Mary, that ultimately it is from the inside out that these transformations occur. And so I'm loving that we have an effect on our own DNA. We can take a piece of our own DNA and put it in that same vacuum, and photons rearrange instantly without any particular thought being given. And so what that means is we have an effect on our own physicality down to our root foundation, and that root foundation has an effect on our environment. So we are creating the world that we're walking in, and science is proving it. And so they don't know what to do with it, because so many of the masses are convinced that we are victimized by our world. We're victimized by our history, by our story, what we've been through, what others say and think and do. And we're here to learn to awaken and to disconnect from that reality, that misperception, and allow ourselves to get good at managing our energies in a different manner, such that we could be strong enough to provide a projection of a movie that is one that we much prefer to be in. But this requires bringing our attention back into the movie projector. If you think about it, it's like if you went to the movie theater and you're watching the movie on the screen, and somebody does something that you don't like, and then somebody else does something back, and you're just like you're getting all involved in the movie, and you start talking to them like, don't do that, or no, that's not going to be, you put your own foot on the brake when their car is going around the corner. You're caught up in the movie, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh, I'm just sitting here in a movie theater. This isn't real. I'm just in a movie theater. And I assure you the same thing is going to happen in your life at some point. It might be in the last 5 minutes of your life. It might be the last breath you take, but you will recognize, oh, I was just in an experience. I was in a movie. It wasn't the whole of me. It wasn't the truth of me. I've had the great blessing of awakening to a higher state of consciousness, like literally, lucidly, sitting in a higher realm, a higher reality. I could see the earth beneath me about the size of a marble, and I was embedded into it up to what would have been my knees, but I wasn't in this physical body. I was me, but I was a ray of light. I could see in every direction, above, below, in front, behind, at the same time. I was in another dimensional realm, literally. And I knew that was the truth of who I was, and that this project that I was in down there on earth that was only the size of a marble, I was that exalted above it. It sounds crazy. I mean, I was a doctor, a scientist in a clinic, minding my own business when this happened. And all of a sudden, my mind was just blown. My world was blown apart as I realized we are taking this far too seriously. This is a project that we are in. And it is supposed to have heart and meaning, and you're destined to be victorious. And you will keep at it until you are victorious. And until you accept that, you will suffer. And when you suffer, you get sick. And when you get sick, then you start looking for the cause of your illness. And it's always been about a bug, or it's been about an inherited tendency, or it's been something outside of you that you perceive to be stronger and more powerful than you. And the truth of it is that we're here to learn that we possess the power of the universe. We're in fact made of it. And if we can learn to let it pour through us, it heals us. And I've been working with hundreds of thousands of people in the last couple of decades, and they are healing. They are transforming their lives because they're retraining their minds, and they're allowing their hearts and their breath and their bodies to work together in a way that they never even knew they were supposed to be doing. And as they learn to master that, things change. People heal physically, mentally, emotionally. Spiritual crises disappear. They're no longer mad at God for dishing out the bad goods to them, and everybody else had the good luck, or these kinds of things. It's a way that we step into the truth of who we are, and we take charge of our lives, not from an egoic standpoint. It's not driven by the mind. It's driven by the continuum of energy that's pouring through you, that's tapping into wisdom and a greater sense of personal power, meaning you can operate as a creator instead of as a reactor, and rising up to to really turning on their hearts and allowing people the courage to step forward in a loving, strong way, rather than being a doormat and being victimized by something that seems to be bigger and, badder than them in some way. So.
Yes. Listener, it serves us to surround ourselves with like-minded people that can carry this frequency and hold space for us. So I'm excited to share with you that Dr. Sue has an upcoming in-person event called Ignite. And she doesn't do a lot of in-person anymore. Most of the stuff due to COVID has now been online. And so this might be an opportunity. I'm planting a seed because I'm seriously considering being there myself. And so, Dr. Sue, can you share with us some of the transformation that participants can kind of expect to experience in this in-person event?
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely. So we come together and I start teaching techniques right away. I start teaching the big picture, like what we've been engaging in today, this kind of conversation. But I also have lots of images that I can share with you and have it make sense, along the way. And then we drop into some meditations to kind of orient the mind and the body and the breath, and to orient this brain in the gut with the brain in the heart and the brain in the head, and to allow these three systems of deep integrative communication to find each other and be operating together. We then go into explorations about how the energy system and the nervous system are interrelated. The energy system built the nervous system, so the energy system is the master system. So then we spend our days together at Ignite learning how to master the master system, how to turn it on, how to work with it, how to enhance it, how to infuse it. So we do so through healing techniques, one after another after another. We're just doing them all day long while I'm teaching about them. We're doing them. So it's not like lectures and you're taking notes and then you go home and have to figure it out. We're coming together so that you can have the experience of it. Because once we've experienced something, we're changed forever. So inside of this, we're healing physical things like back pain and headaches and stomach issues and allergies and asthma and you name it, the things that knee, hips, and shoulders and all those things. We're learning how to heal ourselves. And then we're also going deeper into this energy system, and we're working with higher states of consciousness. We're learning how to awaken ourselves, not just make up for what got out of control, but literally move forward as a creative force in our lives, utilizing this continuum, this power of the universe that's pouring through us all the time, but nobody taught us about that. So we learn to steer it, we learn to aim it, we learn to focus it. And a byproduct of that is people start perceiving themselves as more than the victim of their story, more than the byproduct of their upbringing. They start to realize, yes, all that has happened, and yes, some of it has been very difficult, and yes, it has taught me some things, and it has honed and refined some things, or they start learning what it could have been teaching them right there during the workshop, during the whole program, and then they leave truly ignited at a deeper level of their being, so that we're no longer operating as a personality that has a list of symptoms because of a litany of circumstances they've been through that are unresolved inside of them, and they're packing that into their tissues, and their issues are in their tissues. They go from being that to one who is flushing and cleansing and healing and detoxifying and rearranging their perspective of who and what they are. So we do body awake yoga as well. And if you're not a yogi, don't worry about it. We have rows of people in chairs doing it, just going through what they can, and other rows and rows and rows of people on their mats going through these asanas, which are yoga positions that are sacred geometries, which causes the energy to move through your body more accurately, more easily. And so it enhances this very thing that we're speaking about. And we have a beautiful world-class gong player who's hitting these deep tonal sounds that literally drop you right into your body automatically. And the whole idea, the whole objective is to learn how to live in the body instead of living in your head and writing stories, but live in your body and receive and perceive energies in a way that are going to serve you for the rest of your life. So we've had such beautiful responses to the work that we're doing there. We're going back this year again and, turning it on full steam ahead as we learn all the time how to bring it, faster and better in a more concentrated fashion. So it's a lot of fun along the way because, we're supposed to be fun people. And if we're not having fun, there's a reason. We're stuck in fight or flight and we're just not in the joy of life. So we definitely bring that into the mix as well. So I could go on and
Well,
on, but that's it.
lovely, lovely, lovely. And I just want to mention, I believe that Ignite will be held in the month of September of 2024 in Scottsdale, Arizona.
Yes.
And the best way to get information is to go to info@drsuemorter.com.
Yes.
And that you'll find a plethora of her offerings and how you can reach out to Dr. Sue personally and to connect and to grow and to transform.
Huh.
Dr. Sue, I don't know the capacity of how to express my gratitude
Mhm.
a multiple on multiple levels. First and foremost, as a female chiropractor, almost 40 years ago, you were in a male dominated industry, and yet you became a leading expert within the industry within a short amount of time. I came around about 8 years after you did, and I have to say, all the work that you did helped pave the way for me. So
Mhm.
gratitude, much gratitude.
Mhm.
And then, second of all, more importantly, to stand in the essence of knowing within the trillions of yourselves and to educate firmly rooted in quantum energy and energy medicine is absolutely priceless. So,
Mhm.
thank you.
Oh my gosh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. It's not every day that I get interviewed by someone who really understands, the depth and the deeply meaningful reality that energy and natural healing can bring to our humanity. And so to be in conversation with you is a great joy. It is, thank you for doing what you're doing and bringing important people together. Every listener here is an important member of the culture that is the healer within, awakening. And as we come together and learn more and accept more of what's possible for each of us, we will all be leading and carving pathways for people by the examples that we leave, simply because we're implementing some of these things that we're speaking about here today, and hopefully learning more about how to implement them as well. But it's an honor and a joy to always share in these circles where uh, people are ready for what's next, and what's now. Yeah.
Beautiful. Blessings to you, Dr. Sue.